Hey, how you doing, guys? So today this is just going to be a quick video on how to prep the sauce for the lamb. So we're starting out with the oil. I've got everything here nicely prepped to one side. So we're going to bring this oil up to heat with a few of the mustard seeds in there. This batch that I'm making is a slightly smaller batch than the full recipe. This is about a third of it, just for doing this video. So we're going to start those, we're going to bring those up to heat until they start popping, and then we will go on with the next bit. Okay, so here we go, we can see they're starting to pop nicely, getting nice and hot. So they're going for a minute, and then now we're going to get in our red onions. So those right in there. At this point I'm going to add a little pinch of salt, just because one, it'll help us with cooking the onions and colouring those up, but also it's great to start getting that seasoning in from the very early steps. So get that into it, and then we're going to let this caramelise. Okay, you might struggle to see this a little bit, but we've got some nice brown, nicely cooked out onions in there, so we've got a nice bit of colour on. Next step is to get our turmeric into it. So we want to get this in, give it a nice cook out as much as we can. Of course it likes to stick to the tub. So we're going to get this cooked out for 2 to 3 minutes, still on a high heat. Just get that blooming and ready to go. Okay, we've had a couple of minutes on that, nicely stirring it most of the time through. So we're going to add in the rest of all of our spices from the recipe and the curry leaves. Give that a little stir through, and then comes the garlic and ginger paste. So we'll paste it down till it's really nice. A little bit of texture to it's fine, but you don't want big chunks in there. So just blitz down, obviously all peeled down and then blitz down in the thermodyne. I added a little bit of water to this just to help it so it didn't stick to the sides. So that's absolutely fine, just to make sure you get that paste. It's all going to get cooked out anyway. So this in there, get that really nicely mixed in. And then we're going to add in our tomatoes. They all go in there. We're going to drop this heat right down. And then we're going to bring this to a simmer. If at this stage it's a little bit dry, it's okay. I'll use this one just to add a little bit of water to it as well. So just in there to kind of help it out and get it steaming and starting to simmer nicely. So there we go, turned right down to a nice low heat. And then yeah, we're going to simmer this out until everything is soft, and any of the nice spices that may have stuck to the bottom will all have been released and come back up and into the sauce. So there we go, be back in a second. Right, so now we're at the stage where this is all cooked out a little bit. I did add a tiny bit more water to it just to enable it to cook down a little bit more. So all of our tomatoes are nice and soft in there. So we're going to take this off, we're going to blitz it down, and then we're going to check the seasoning. Right, so the last bit now is tasting, which is where we've fallen down a few times recently, so that is bland. So making sure we're getting plenty of salt into this. It shouldn't need pepper. It has enough of that flavour in there of the heat from the ginger and all the spices that are in there. But let's just keep on making sure every single time we make these things we try them, and once you're happy that it's there, get the guy next to you to have a mouthful as well, so that you don't just build up the flavour in your mouth and then you're not actually tasting it anymore, especially with something spiced and heavy like this. you'll get to a point where you'll basically get like taste bud blind and you won't be able to taste what's going on. So I'm going to take this over to chef now, and that is it. So that's exactly what we should do, going through from start to finish. So nice high heat at the beginning, get a little bit of salt in at the beginning, and yeah, just really make sure that we get this seasoning right at the end.